Samsung's next generation of foldable flagship phones is shaping up to be bigger than ever, and a new leak may have just given us our clearest look yet at what's coming. According to the latest information, Samsung is expected to launch 3 premium foldable smartphones in its upcoming lineup: the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, the Galaxy Z Fold 8, and the Galaxy Z Flip 8. And now, after weeks of renders and speculation, we're finally seeing what appear to be dummy units, physical design prototypes, of all 3 devices side by side. This new leak is especially interesting because renders can sometimes exaggerate details, hide thickness, or smooth out design choices. Dummy units, on the other hand, are often created to match real-world dimensions and hardware placement. So when dummy units leak, it usually means we're getting closer to a final design direction, at least in terms of size, shape, and layout. The Salmink. Images were shared on X by well-known leaker Sonny Dixon, who posted 2 alleged photos showing prototype or dummy models of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, Galaxy Z Fold 8, and Galaxy Z Flip 8. One photo shows the backs of the phones while opened or unfolded, and the other shows a mix of angles: the fold models from the front and the flip model from the back while closed. Even without official confirmation from Samsung, the overall designs line up closely with what earlier leaks suggested, while also revealing one major new detail: our first real look at the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. Let's start with what looks familiar. Based on these dummy unit images, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 appears to stick closely to the design language we've already seen in earlier leaked renders. The camera layout looks consistent, with a vertical camera stack positioned in the same general area we'd expect from Samsung's recent Fold lineup. The overall footprint also looks similar to what Fold users already know: tall, book-style, folding hardware that prioritizes a narrow outer display and a larger inner foldable screen. Next up, the Galaxy Z Flip 8 also seems to match previously leaked renders, suggesting Samsung isn't drastically reinventing the flip design this year. The closed shape looks compact and pocket-friendly, with the familiar clamshell fold. The camera placement and general back panel layout look evolutionary rather than revolutionary. Exactly the kind of update Samsung has favored in recent generations, focusing on refinement instead of dramatic visual change. But the biggest headline: here isn't the Fold 8 or the Flip 8, it's the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. This is the first time we're getting a meaningful look at the Fold 8 Wide design through what appears to be a physical prototype. And the key difference is obvious immediately. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide looks noticeably shorter and wider than the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8. That single change could completely reshape how Samsung's Fold feels and functions day to day. Why does shorter and wider matter so much? Because it could be tied directly to one of the most talked about rumors, that the Fold 8 Wide might feature a 4.3 aspect ratio for its inner foldable display. A 4.3 layout can make the unfolded screen feel more like a small tablet rather than a tall, stretched phone screen. It can also improve usability for productivity, reading, browsing, split-screen multitasking, and even certain video and gaming experiences. In simple terms, a wider fold could feel more natural, especially for people who have always wished Samsung's Fold line had a less narrow outer screen and a more balanced inner display. Even more interesting is the comparison people are already making. A 4:3 style foldable screen would be similar to the rumored direction of Apple's upcoming foldable iPhone, a product that, even without being announced, continues to influence the conversation around foldables. If Samsung is truly preparing a Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide with a more tablet-like aspect ratio, it could be an intentional move to cover multiple user preferences at once. One Fold model for classic Samsung Fold fans, and one wider variant for people who want a more mini-tablet experience. Now let's talk about one of the most curious details in the dummy unit leak: the visible circular cutouts on the back of all 3 phones. On the leaked prototypes, each device appears to show circular impressions or cutouts that could be related to magnets or coil placement for magnetic wireless charging, potentially aligning with QI2 accessories and improved magnetic attachment systems. If Samsung is indeed building stronger magnetic alignment into its foldables, that could open the door to more reliable wireless charging placement, better accessory ecosystems, and easier attachment of wallets, stands, mounts, and battery packs. However, there's an important caveat. Just because these circles appear on dummy units does not mean they'll be visible on retail devices. In fact, Samsung could choose to hide these components internally in the final production models, keeping the back panel clean and seamless. We've seen similar situations before, where early renders or prototypes suggest visible hardware elements, but retail versions integrate them in a less obvious way. So while the circular cutouts could hint at QE2-style magnetic charging support, it's still something to treat as possible, not guaranteed. That said, the timing of this leak is meaningful. When prototype units start showing up in multiple angles, and especially when they include multiple models, it usually indicates that the industrial design is more or less locked in. It doesn't confirm exact specs, camera sensors, battery sizes, or display brightness, but it strongly suggests Samsung is moving forward with this 3-device foldable strategy. And if that strategy is real, it could mark a major shift in how Samsung positions its foldables. Instead of offering just one Galaxy Z Fold and one Galaxy Z Flip, Samsung may be preparing a more segmented foldable lineup. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 as the standard premium book-style foldable. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 wide as the more tablet-like, wider alternative with potentially different aspect ratios, and the Galaxy Z Flip 8 as the compact flagship for buyers who want a foldable that prioritizes portability. This kind of lineup expansion would be Samsung acknowledging a simple truth. Foldable buyers don't all want the same thing. Some people want a fold that feels more like a phone when closed. Some want the widest possible inner screen for productivity. Others want a flip that fits anywhere and still feels premium. Creating multiple fold variants could be Samsung's way of keeping its foldable dominance while responding to competition and changing consumer preferences. Of course, it's still early, and these images are still unofficial. Dummy units can be accurate, but they can also represent pre-production plans that change later. Even small differences, camera bump thickness, hinge proportions, frame materials, can shift before launch. And Samsung could still adjust what features make it into each model, especially if things like magnetic charging integration affect thickness, weight, or internal layout. But even with those uncertainties, this leak gives us something we haven't had before. A more realistic sense of how the Galaxy Z Fold 8 wide might look and feel compared to the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And if Samsung really is going wider, it could be one of the most meaningful design changes in the Fold series in years. Not because it's flashy, but because aspect ratio and physical dimensions directly affect usability every single day. So now the big question becomes, if Samsung launches the Galaxy Z Fold 8 wide alongside the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Galaxy Z Flip 8, how will the company differentiate them beyond shape? Will the Fold 8 wide get better cameras, a larger battery, or a more premium build? Will it be priced above the standard Fold 8? And will features like QE2 magnetic wireless charging become a true selling point across Samsung's foldable lineup? For now, the leaked dummy units give us the clearest hint yet that Samsung's next foldables may be more diverse than ever, especially if the Galaxy Z Fold 8 wide becomes the device that finally delivers the wider, more balanced fold experience many users have been asking for.